Hey everybody, we are talking indie agency news preferred partners. These are folks that completely get what you're going through as an independent agency. So let's talk about contracts. Without the right language in your service agreements or statements of work, you're leaving the door open to, oh boy, scope creep, payment disputes, and excessive IP risks, among other things. Matchstick Legal, one of our preferred partners, offers a free report card analysis where they review and rate your MSA and SOW against more than 50 criteria. Find out if you're getting an A+ or need improvement at matchstick.legal and see all of our partners at indieagency.partners.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Meet an Indie Agency. I am Kyle O'Brien, Managing Editor at Indie Agency News. Today we are talking comms, we are talking PR, and we are talking Powell. Katy Hendricks, CMO at Powell Communications, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure to be with you today. So tell me a little about you and how long you've been with Powell.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for having us. It's so exciting to be on this side and not helping our clients do interviews.
Which we do often, and I have worked, full disclosure, I have worked with the Powell people for well over a decade now, so all good.
I have texted Kyle when he didn't respond to an email. I'm like, Kyle, I need your help.
That you have, but you're always good, so I'm good with that.
So brief intro about me. So I'm Katy Hendricks. I'm the CMO of Powell. I am coming up on my 5-year anniversary in like 2 weeks. So
Wow.
I was a solid COVID move during that whole big crazy reshuffle that we all remember.
Oh, yes.
And if those who don't know Powell, we are a communications agency that supports the advertising industry. We were actually the first about 26 years ago. Rachel Powell founded the company.
Wow, it's been that long. Okay.
It is. Yeah. I always like to say it's kind of a time similar to now. You know, there was a lot of uncertainty in the economy. Creative agencies were reshuffling their comms teams. It was similar to some of these, some of these things that we're seeing. And she saw an opportunity and took it. And we have since expanded to support anything in the ad industry, anything on the comm side. So from media relations to LinkedIn to awards, events, juries, you name it, we do it.
Gotcha. So what are the top 3 core strengths of Powell Communications?
So I've given this a lot of thought, and I had like a funny answer and a real answer. So I'm gonna like go somewhere in the middle. I think that what the top strengths that we have, what we often hear, number one, people say, obviously, we're very tapped into the ad industry. Like that's no question. We've been doing it so long. We know all the reporters, and most of our clients touch advertising in some way. But I think the other two I like to do together is we are very strategic. So we're very focused on what your goals are, what you need to accomplish. And we're not just trying to get you press just to get you press. Right. But we also don't take ourselves too seriously. So like kind of a common theme we hear at Powell is that people like working with us because we're fun and we like to have a good time and we like to like be an extension of our clients' teams. So those would be my 3 strengths: is tapped into the ad industry, strategic, and like to have a good time.
I can attest to all 3. So excellent. So let's talk about indie. It's been 26 years now. Why does Powell remain independent, and what are the advantages of it for a communications agency?
I mean, I think with any indie agency, whether you're comms or whether you're advertising or really any other company, it's all about having that autonomy to make decisions as fast, as quickly, and as humanely as possible. And so, I think about like the conversations I'm having with our CEO, Lisa, for example, like we are texting all day long, making sure we're staying apprised of what's happening with our clients, what's happening in the world. And there's no red tape, right? So it really comes down to what's best for our team. Like that's always first, because happy people serve happy clients, right? And what's best for our clients. And we don't really have to go through a bunch of layers to do so. So if you look at return to office, like obviously we're seeing holding companies do that. We made a decision in 2020 to be fully remote, and that's it. Like nobody has to go into any office, and we just make it work for us and make it work for our teams and our clients. So I think it's really that idea of being able to make those decisions that are best for you without having to think about multiple stakeholders.
Right. And so what do the clients say about that? What is it important to them that you're independent? I mean, as a comms, like if you're not working in the actual agency, what is the importance of being independent for those?
Interestingly enough, I mean, yeah, I think it is important to our clients that are independent because so many of our clients are competitors to holding companies or part of a holding company. And so once you start getting into that world, it gets more complicated. So the fact that Powell is independent does keep it pretty clean cut with how we work with our teams and our clients.
Gotcha. And being independent, you've also worked with both holding companies and independent
Mhm.
agencies. What have you learned from other indies that has made you kind of a stronger agency over the years?
I mean, the biggest thing I've learned is that every agency is different. So people come to us and they're like, how can you do this when you only, are mostly support agencies? Like, how are you doing this with our competitors? And we always say, well, you're all different. You all have a different DNA. So you may have the same services or the same capabilities or, work with similar clients on different projects, but everybody is uniquely unique. I should definitely use that. That everybody is unique in how you do. And so I think what we like to do is we're never going to tell you what your competitors are saying in terms of if they're our clients, but we're always going to tell you what our clients what to say and how to position themselves and how to find that white space. And so that's my biggest learning is no two agencies are alike, and our job is to really help pull that out, the differentiation, and pull that out into your messaging and positioning.
Sure. And since you're a comms agency, I mean, you work with agencies and brands, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Mostly agents. Yes, actually, yes, agencies and brands. That's fair to say. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so let's change the question. Our usual question is what's the main reason a brand should work with you? What
Right.
is the main reason an agency or brand should work with you?
I think the main reason any company should work with us, whether it's an agency or a brand, is kind of how we approach our communication. So we always say that we uh, interview you like a therapist, we PR you like a publicist, and we plan like a strategist. And so what that means is we're really helping you find out, again, going back to that unique piece, like what's your red thread, what's different about you, and then pulling it through in all of the channels. So that would be the primary reason. I think the secondary reason is we are hyper focused, like going back to that strategy part, we're really hyper focused on your goals and your return on investment and helping you reach those goals. And so we really package that together in a tailored program that makes sense for you.
Gotcha. And I'm going to stray because you're a comms agency. It's a little different from others.
Mhm.
How do you deal with, crisis comms? It's obviously a big thing and you don't want to ever have to deal with it, but you have to be prepared for it. How does
Yeah.
Powell do that?
Yeah. I mean, I think with crisis in particular, first of all, we have a crisis group here at Powell that we're all in contact with each other when something comes up. And it's a team of leaders across different spectrums and different specialties. And we really sit down and think like, you have to act fast. That's number one, right? So what is the problem? What is the solution? And what is the best way to get to the other path? And what that looks like is different for every single client. So if a client comes to us, it really is based on the problem. It's also changed a lot over the years. Like if you think about what it looked like pre-social media, which, I'm dating myself a little bit that I was doing PR like when Twitter was just beginning, like it's totally different now. So I think you really kind of make your decision tree and put your plan in place and realize that no two crisis comms plans are going to be the same.
Yeah, no, it's something that has to be dealt with, and obviously, we've seen it many times over the years, but you guys always manage to do a good job corralling everything because otherwise it can get out of control.
I
So,
mean, honestly, like the best crisis plan is the crisis that doesn't happen. So usually what we do is tell our clients to really, I was just having this conversation this morning, telling our clients to really keep us in the loop of be completely honest with us about what's really going on in the background, and then we can help you stay out of trouble.
that's the best advice I've heard all day. uh, let's talk a little bit about talent. Obviously, Powell has many people working for that. How many people now work for Powell?
That is an excellent question. I'm gonna say it's like 23.
Okay,
It's right under 25, so somewhere around there.
gotcha. All right. So maybe a young comms or somebody maybe
Mhm.
who just came from one of the agencies that has been absorbed and or deleted. What? Why should they put Powell on their list of potential employers?
I think we've recently won a few awards for our culture. We won Best Inc. Best Workplaces 2 years in a row. We were named on Digiday's Best Remote Companies for remote workers. I think what it really comes down to is pillars that we have, which are flexibility. We're really focused on flexibility and well-being for our team, but also training. And one of the things that we try to do at Powell is we try to train you, of course, yes, in comms and skills, but also just how to be a better business person. That is something that our CEO, Lisa, talks about all the time is like, how do you become a better professional in everything that you're doing? And whether that means giving you real-time feedback, whether that means, putting you in positions to learn more with the clients, about things that you may not learn before. It really kind of comes down to that core area.
Yeah, and every time I've dealt with somebody from Pell, it's always been the professionalism is something that really kind of stands out. It's
Thank
it's
you.
it's always like, okay, I can trust that I'm getting something good from them. I can trust that they are not only telling me the truth, but will always be honest, throughout the process. So that's something to be attributed to uh,
Thank you.
really good planning and good people. So, all right, let's have a little fun. Not that we haven't been having fun, but let's have a little fun in a little block we call Weirdos, Misfits, or Underdogs. Everybody in the indie world seems to be one or a combination of these three. What would you say you and or Powell are?
Okay, I love this. Okay, personally, I'm definitely a weirdo, but I'm gonna go with weirdos for Powell and give you a couple of examples. When I started working at Powell, we had some people join, and we had really kind of fully gone into that fully remote workplace culture. Our team just started popping up with different groups and different channels on Slack and like different calls and different things. And one of them, for example, is the Goth Girls Book Club, where for a solid multiple years, they only read Goth Girl books. Now you decide what that means. But now it's kind of expanded to include, we also don't only have women anymore. So that helps. But between foodie channels where everybody's like taking pictures of what they're eating, and like kind of like weird, quirky virtual events that we have, we're weirdos.
Love it. Love it. And I love the reasons behind it. And listen, I would love to join a Goth Girls Book Club.
You want to come?
Oh, come on, that would be so much fun.
With
Yeah, it
special guest.
it might
Nice.
it might actually even fall in line with some of the things I've read recently. So,
Perfect. Perfect.
um,
I'll sign you up.
all right. So now you get a chance to call out anybody you'd like in the marketing world, any CMO, marketer, someone either you would like to work with or you have worked with, just anybody you'd like to call out.
Okay, so I think for this, I'm gonna go a little bit unconventional, and call out Jimmy Fallon and Bose. So when we
Nice.
were at Cannes last year,
Yeah.
we were at a client dinner at Les Michoux with one of our teams, and I walk in, and me and the client see this couple dancing, and so we start dancing with them. And he turns around, and it's Jimmy Fallon. And then, of course, I scream out instead of doing like a normal human. I was like, "Oh my God, you're Jimmy Fallon," and went and sat back down instead of taking a photo or really sort of any like acknowledgement beyond that. And so he left, and then he talked about it. If you remember, he talked about it all week at
Right.
Cannes, like in his different interviews, this dance party that he had. But we're not in any of the photos because we had like gotten skittish and went back to our table. So that's who I'd like to call out. I would say, Jimmy, we were there. We would love to see you next year and love to do it again, and this time get it on video.
All right. All right. We've got 5 months roughly until
Yeah,
Cannes.
we can make it happen,
So
right?
that's something that can happen. I love it. All right. So thank you for joining us, Katy Hendricks, CMO, Powell Communications. Tell people where they can find you should they need you.
Go to, well, you can always find me on LinkedIn,
Okay.
but our website is www.powellny.com.
powellny.com. You heard it here. All right. Thank you, Katy. And thank you to Powell Communications. This has been an episode of Meet an Indie Agency. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Katy. And talk again soon.
Thanks, Kyle.